Welcome to the stream. Let me check the music. How are you guys today? For those who don't know me, my name is Layla Viscu. I'm a 3D character artist. And yeah, I'm here to make cool stylized characters. We started this Blockout last stream, and I promised we'll continue working on it the next one. So here I am. Can you hear me well? Okay, so I'm gonna get started. I'm seeing a few things that I want to fix, proportions wise. But I reckon we should get most of like the leaves and just the elements from the concept and then tweak the overall shapes. Audio is good. Good night. Hi 3D artist. Hi Ias. How's it going? Okay, so let's add more petals going around her scalp, which is kind of like her fringe. Going a bit slow, it's because I have dynamic turned on. How are you guys doing today? You sculpting with me? You working on something else? Hit extract, accept to create like a new geometry. Now maybe I'll dynamesh it first. Then mask it. You guys aren't usually quiet today. Like, I'm used to having quiet chat. But today is like just peak of silence. How are you? I'm good, thank you, Warrior Maddie. Just started working on this concept a stream ago. Going great. See, I'm trying to get that curl shape done. Which is a little bit tricky, but we'll get there. And I think in the profile it wouldn't look this way. It looks something like this. Because it's meant to be petals. Oh, nice concept. Thank you. But we're choosing between 5 concepts on my Instagram and my Telegram channels. And yeah, this one won. Actually, it was a tie between the two. And I made the final decision to go with this one. I really tried to find the original artist, but when you put this image into Google search, it gives you 2 results. And one of them leads to some sort of Tumblr account. And I'm either too old or too young to know how to use Tumblr, so I couldn't figure out whose art that was, if it was a repost or whatever. There was no name listed there. And the second one was like Pinterest page of someone also like reposting the artwork. Hello. Now there's a message from the Nightbot saying that the 2023 live ZBrush Sculpting is now open for registration, which is awesome. I wanted to talk about it. Do you guys know what Sculpting is? If you do, are you gonna participate? Because I think I will. Those who don't know what Sculpting is, it's 3-hour competition where you have to stream live. It doesn't need to be with a webcam. Doesn't even need to have like a proper mic. All you need to do is just stream as you sculpt for 3 hours on your YouTube channel and add like a specific tag for like ZBrush team to find you. And in those 3 hours you sculpt something on a given prompt, and they've announced the prompts already, so you can like design your own concept or see as you go on stream. And then the point of participating is because of obviously good practice and good fun to challenge yourself how much you can sculpt in 3 hours. And second of all, I mean, there are prizes, really good prizes from Wacom, from Nauman School, from oh man, there are so many sponsors, can't name them all. Layla, how are you doing? Hi Houdini. Yeah, I'm good. I was just talking about the Sculpting competition. You know what Layla means in Hindi language? Night? I would presume. Maybe something else. I know it means night in Hebrew and many other languages. But I think Layla is supposed to be spelled with like Layla in many of those languages, and mine is spelled differently. Yeah, I actually participated 2 years ago and I took the first place, which was really nice. And then last year I also participated. I didn't take any place, but it was still lots of fun. And while you stream, the reason why you add like a special tag like ZBrush Sculpting 2023, so your stream is for the ZBrush team who are also streaming, like the developers and artists that like beta test and try out ZBrush and stream here on the channel. They go live as well, and they search for artists with this tag on YouTube, and they kind of visit their streams and they say hi to them and they like discuss what you're working on. They like speculate what kind of character or what kind of like creature you're gonna be sculpting. But that's lots of fun as well. How long have you been sculpting for? So for now I've been sculpting for 16 minutes, but last stream was sculpted for 2 hours. And I usually talk during my streams for half an hour, give or take. So maybe less than 2 hours on this sculpt, which is not a lot. Just still in the blockout stage. So awesome when this challenge starts. So if you like scroll in the chat, there'll be like a message saying the 2023 live ZBrush sculpt off is now open. And then there's a link. You can find out everything there. I believe it's end of September, one of those dates, 25th, 23rd, something like that. And you have time until then to pick the prompt that you want and maybe design a concept. You can like draw it or even like practice sculpting it in 3D because you know you will be constrained on time on the day off. So it's a good thing to try and maybe block it out as fast as you can and see how you go. Also, if I could give one advice, it would be don't go overly ambitious with your sculpt. Keep it simple. Let's add her eyebrows because it's been bugging me that she doesn't have any. Now, like, I mean in general. Oh, how long I've been sculpting for in general. So, my first ever sculpt was made, like in ZBrush, was in 2017. So, was it 17? No, 18, sorry. 2018. So 5 years or so. Yeah, anyway, I really recommend that you guys try yourselves out in the competition. It's great fun. Also, by the end of those 3 hours, you have to submit your work on ZBrush Central. There's gonna be a special like thread dedicated to Sculpting. You have to upload it by like a certain time, otherwise you won't qualify for the prizes. If you're just curious of how it usually goes, you can just scroll, go on the channel that you're on right now, most probably, if you're on YouTube. And ZBrush usually keeps last year's ZBrush Sculpt Off competitions, so you can see who won last year and how it was all done. I can't find any link. Weird. Am I the only one seeing it? Here you go. Oh. reckon we could maybe run a polish on this one, clay polish. Yeah, why not? And then go and hold down Control and move it to the other side. I'm thinking of creating just 3 petals. Petals? No, leaves. You know, the ones that go on the bottom of flower. Maybe 3 petals won't be enough. What do you mean about don't going crazy with sculpt and make it easy? Oh, I mean like, don't overestimate your abilities. So if you only have 3 hours to sculpt a full-on character that tells a cool story, don't go building like backgrounds and spending 2 hours on hair, or I don't know, like trying to sculpt very detailed like armor, because you might end up spending all of that time on the armor, which will look great, but then there's no character to go with it, so it doesn't tell any story. So what I meant is just time yourself and yeah, know your capabilities in those 3 hours. I usually don't talk to anyone during sculpt off, so I turn on my camera and like I go live, and sometimes people will come in from my Instagram and be like, oh, what you sculpting? And I'll be like, this. And I try not to get distracted. It's because of how little 3 hours it actually is. It's just not enough time, almost. But I do like pushing myself outside of my comfort zone, so oh yeah, one more thing about the contest, you need to register prior to participating. I'm noticing now that the distance between like the end of the eyelash to the end of the eyebrow is a bit too big. I might lift this thing up and lower this one down. Then it's also about changing the proportions a little bit. I also always forget to say it in the beginning of the stream, but I know some viewers are English-speaking viewers and some are not, so I actually speak 3 languages, actually 2 fluently and 1 I just understand. So, which are English, obviously, and the other one is Russian, which is my native language. And I grew up in Moldova, so I understand Moldovan, even though I can't speak it very well. Just because I know there are some people in the chat sometimes that are a bit afraid to write messages in English. Well, you can message me in other languages too. I'm gonna hide these for now, just to check the proportions. Her eyes are a little bit droopy. Привет, привет. Hey, what's up, Layla? Happy Monday. Digging the concept. That Zelda turned out great, by the way. Thank you. I am planning on finishing Zelda. I just have 2 projects pending, and before Zelda I was making Zeri from League of Legends, and I actually have made some progress that I posted on my Instagram and Telegram stories. But in case you haven't seen it, I'm just gonna show it off. Here it is. I was texturing her yesterday in a sort of arcane style. If you guys know arcane, you know what I'm talking about. This is just the wireframe. So her UVs are done. She's fully retopologized, and I've started texturing. Obviously only the face and a bit of hair was touched yesterday. But yeah, I reckon it's a good start. Just wanted to show it off and say I haven't forgotten about that project. Zelda, yeah, she's just taking a bit of a backseat until I finish Zeri and post her and render her, and then I'll do the same steps for Zelda. And for this project, it will be a speed sculpt, so it will come out like I'll finish it in between those two. Какая ты красивая, спасибо. Hello guys, hello XP. She's awesome. Thank you. Arcane лучшее, что я видела из сериалов вообще трехмерных. Да, очень-очень хороший. Мне очень нравится стиль. Хотя я не играла в Лигу. That's some serious work. Great job. Thank you. Yeah. Have you guys seen Arcane? If you haven't, it's a show worth watching if you have Netflix. They're working on the second season right now. And the inspiration behind that artwork that I just showed you was a character from League of Legends, which is a game. A lot of you are familiar with it, I would presume. And they made a show based off the game and what kind of relationships would the characters have if they were to live in the actual world. So yeah, I just picked a champion from the game that didn't make an appearance in the show, and I imagine her in the Arcane style. I'm waiting for you there on Instagram. I'll check out the messages. Hi Lord Luigi Riggs. А где я тут могу увидеть твой телеграм? Okay, how would I do that? Все, сам нашел. Cool. I'll send the link to my Telegram and Instagram and ArtStation if you guys want at the end of the stream. But if you want it now, you can just type in my name, Layla Viscu, anywhere, and I'll pop up. I have somewhat of a unique first name and last name combination, so usually pretty easy to find me. Okay, let's get the petals working. I should have found some sort of reference for the rose. Let's just do it now. So. Usually either use just Google or Pinterest. But it's about your custom, you were to pass it on to me, right? Sorry. Yeah. Almost choked on my tea. I do remember. I still haven't gotten to do it because I need to watch like a tutorial on how to properly export it out. And when I export it out, you'll still not get all of these brushes because they are not mine to share. Some of them you will, but some of them you need to download manually from the respective artists, so I can't share them. And then this tab, I'm not sure whether it goes with the configuration or not, but yeah, I'll share it. Thank you for reminding me. Okay, how would I do a petal? What amazed me in Arcane, the almost all backgrounds was made in 2D and seeing how they worked with 3D characters. Yeah, I think it was a combination of 2D and 3D for the backgrounds as well. I think they used something called projection mapping or camera projection. So I think they did have 3D models for the environments. However, they were very smart about how they use it. So in my head, how that would work is that you can create like a rough 3D blockout of like tables and chairs and barrels and like lampposts in the street and whatnot. It can be very rudimentary, it can be just boxes and cylinders. And then you render it out as a black and white, like a grayscale image with just ambient occlusion, I guess. And you can pass it on to the artist to paint over. And then there's a way to project what they've done on the models based on the camera view. That would be the simplest way to do it, but I think what they're doing in Arcane is just a bit more complex than that. Okay, let's add a bit of thickness. Now select snake hook, just because it's pretty good for bending objects, like so. У меня уже поздно, пойду спать. Хорошего вам дня, спасибо. Заходи еще. And about that arcane style, I'm just gonna shamelessly plug myself in again. On my Telegram, some people expressed interest in seeing how I did it, the texturing process itself. So if any of you would be keen, I will organize like a stream on my own channel, showing it off. Obviously, because I can't show it here, because 2 different softwares. But yeah, let me know in the chat if you're interested in like 2D and painting stream. Nice. Thank you. Yes, please. Okay, cool. Let's retopologize. I mean, zero mesh. Yeah. I see now. Turn on double. As you can see, it's gonna be quite a time-consuming process. I don't think I've sculpted enough flowers in my career, so it's something new for me, which was actually a deciding factor when I was choosing between the two concepts. I wanted to sculpt something I haven't done before much. Can you speak slower and louder, please? All I hear is S, sorry. Is it hard to hear me? Yeah, I can lower down the microphone. Hey Layla, how are you? Good. Thank you. How are you? You have a dull-ish art style, I guess. If that's how you see it. Now let's control and shift and move in order to duplicate. Duplicate it on this side. We'll do the same here. For some reason it reminds me of dolls. I mean, big eyes, exaggerated proportions. Makes sense? Thank you, I'm fine. I think the petals of the flower could have been a little bigger. Oh yeah, yeah, I can see that. Well, I'll scale it down, scale it up proportionally. Yeah. Guess they would be a bit bigger. Thank you for that. This is gonna be a huge flower. Just notices that you've been working on Disney Christmas 2022 video. What characters you made in that project? 2022, because we made 3 of them. Not sure which. Oh yeah, that one went live, right? So it was, because it happened quite a while ago. I wasn't a lead character artist back then. So I think I only modeled the child, like the baby gets born, and is on screen for like 5 seconds. But then we made a few side ads for Disney collaborating with Pandora and other brands, and the baby was featured there quite a bit. Yeah, it was a fun one. Yeah, welcome. Mm. I'm really trying to keep all of my meshes as low res as I can, just because it gives me flexibility in terms of adjustment. Spent quite a bit of time on this one, so let's just move on. There's extra petal on this side. Okay. Let's actually save. I wanted to add a bit of curvature to the profile view. Maybe you know I'm sending model to another software to render, but my model is very high poly, so I export only low poly object. But then I can't get back high poly information to object. Okay, are you familiar with the UVs? You need to have UVs on your low poly object, which are just like coordinates. Right now this mesh doesn't have any UVs, so if I were to have like lots of details on it and then export out the low poly, obviously wouldn't have any information on it. So you can create them in ZBrush actually. Let's say I want to have them according to my polygroups. Let's turn on polygroups, no symmetry, just hit unwrap. And now you'll see that these options in the UV map tab under the tool will get highlighted. So I usually bring the bump down to 0. And that's not what it should look like. It's because I have dynamic turned on. Now you see, so these are just flat representations of my meshes, which is necessary for every single model. If you ever want to texture it, you need it. Yeah, but UV only gave me the texture information. Cool. So you know about UVs. So the texture is not exactly the word that you would want to use. There can be a bump texture, roughness texture, diffuse texture, specularity texture. It's just a term, like a synonym to an image. What you're looking for is either a normal map. So let's say delete dynamic. I subdivided a few times. And I add some details onto it, like so. You know, amazing details. Done. You know. Now, obviously, if I go down, there will be no details whatsoever. That's the mesh that I'm gonna get in Blender or Maya or 3ds Max or Cinema 4D, anything like that. They won't respect the higher resolution. So what do? Is you have your UVs, you go to normal map, and you go to your lowest subdivision level, and you hit create normal map, which will create a normal map for you. Now you can clone it, and in the texture tab it will appear. One thing though, ZBrush flips the UVs, so you need to flip them back to be normal orientation of your model, of your UVs model. It's a bit tricky. Just flip them and then export it out, and now you can use the normal map. You can Google on how to use normal maps inside of Blender or wherever you're working. The other way would be to make a displacement map, which is a bit more detailed, I guess, than normal maps are. And you can also research on how to connect displacement maps inside of Blender. Displacement maps, yeah, also lowest subdivision level, hit displacement, then these are my settings. You can copy them. At least they work for my workflow. Yeah, and then you can select the size and create all maps, and it'll be an EXR extension of the file will be of a different format, not a TIFF, not a PNG, not a JPEG. Oh, my voice cracked. Yeah, it's gonna be a 32-bit image, which will be heavy, but that's what displacement maps are. And then you can also Google on how to use it, and yeah, whichever software you're using, then specify. Well, let me go back a bit before I started doing this. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Cool. Hi Layla, how are you today? Hello Tutun, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? So I want to bend one of these petals kind of like around to create more of a cylindrical, like wrapping around shape. So what I can do is align my gizmo sort of in the same plane as the petal. Then go and click this cog. Now I can bend the arc. Yeah, that's sort of the shape that I want. Let's check it from the front. And then make it a bit narrower. That's the one. Cool. Snake hook. Pull it down. Maybe let's go to deformation and polish by grooves a little bit. Push this one in. What kind of art inspires you? Eternal Games Nan. Kind of art. Digital art inspires me. Like, I go on ArtStation almost every single day, and I save artworks that really inspire me. That's how I create like reference boards for my future projects. But also, I've been really enjoying some like oil painting artists recently. And who else? I can't like name them all, there are so many. But yeah, I really enjoy all sorts of media. Like even traditional sculpting is very interesting, very different to 3D sculpting. I try to like adopt different skills and kind of like habits from different media of art. At your job, do you still retop on ZBrush or do you make it by hand? It's a mix of this plugin called ZWrap, which is the plugin you have to pay for, but it is compatible with ZBrush. And we usually reuse the topology that we've used on the previous rig that was already established. If you're like an artist that just started out in a new company, chances are they already have like a topology ready for you that you need to transfer to the other model. So ZWrap does that, and then it requires some cleanup in another software, whether that be ZBrush or Maya or 3ds Max, Blender, anything. Cinema 4D. You can make it by hand in any of those software. You can make it by hand in ZBrush. It's a bit of a painful process though. Just gonna say it straight. There's a way with these spheres, but I've never done it just because there are great plugins like this that speed up the process. So yeah. Too much. Okay. Hi Layla, just regards. Hi Chris. How is it going? But I can see that the chat is slightly bit more live than it used to be at the beginning of the stream. So what are you guys doing today? Are you sculpting? Are you working? Are you chilling at home and just watching me in the background? Let's bend this one as well. Accept. Working on XGen. Ooh. Yeah. XGen. I have fond and not so fond memories with that plugin. Not so fond when you rename at least one folder or move stuff in the folder somewhere. Then you open the project and all of your grooming is just gone. Yeah. Not saying it does it all the time, but there is a trend going on there. Flip it. My PC crashes after one strand, lol. So no oxygen for me right now. Yeah, it can be tough on your computer, especially if you have like a laptop. Oof. Okay, let's just quickly block in the middle of the rows and then move on to something else. Hopefully 45 minutes left. Again, for the middle bit. Like, could have like... Maybe the sphere is not the thing I'm looking for. Delete. Zero mesher. 2 by poly. That's good enough. And now let's try kind of like roll it up. How would I do that? We can try it with the transpose clock tool. Let's give it some thickness. And in Dynamics tab, let's... Oh, where is it? Self-collision. Let's turn it on. Okay, here we go. Not perfect, but it's a start. Now we can start peeling off. Very common to have a frozen moment in the system of 32 gig 1950 thread ripper if anyone working on a software with more than 20 million poly. 20 million poly is even high for me sometime. Well, no, I'm lying. The highest I went to was like around 70 million. My specs are a bit higher than that. Maybe someone in the chat with a similar PC configuration can help you out. Oh, my graphics card is a bit higher than that. 1950, that's the graphics card, right? It's Layla. Hi Layla. All dolled up, I see. For a special occasion, did you have a date over and kicked him out, so you decided to do ZBrush instead? That's very personal, but no, it's a mess. A woman does not need a reason to get her makeup done. I just felt like it. But yeah, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. And now I didn't kick anyone out. Oh, looks like a yummy wrap. Yeah, looks like a tortilla wrap. What computer do you use? Specs. So I should have been more prepared for it. So I have. What do I have? 3060 Ti graphics card. Then I have quite a lot of RAM. Last time I checked, either 32 or 64. Might have been 64 last time I updated it. Where do I check it? In the task manager? I remember there was a way to check it in the task manager. No idea. Oh no, 32. Yeah, 32. Then what else is there? i7 for the processor, and some, I don't remember, SSD for like 1 terabyte, and 2 monitors, 1 Huion Canvas 22. None of this is sponsored, guys. Just sharing. If it was sponsored, that it would have been just a terrible sponsorship segment because I couldn't remember the names of any of these components. So there you have it. Did I miss something? Probably a lot. I do not remember which motherboard I have. I've installed it over 6 years ago. Yeah. Oh, lovely, and it's been a while indeed. Nice to see you again. Hope all is well. Yeah. I mean, I've been alright. Also started a new concept, so I mean, a new project that I am intending on finishing it. Layer it up a bit. And there you have it, guys. That's how you turn a tortilla wrap into a flower. Sort of. Feeling it's a lot of work. Oh, it's on the ZBrush, can be assumable. Oh, you can see it in my... Oh. Oh. ZBrush should run smooth for you. Yeah, no, it is. The only issues I have is when it sometimes crashes, but I can usually kind of like foresee that, so I save. Что бы ты изменила, если бы могла вернуться назад во времени? Может, какие-нибудь ошибки, которые допускала изначально, либо какие ошибки замечаешь в художниках, которые начали эту карьеру? Я бы ничего не меняла в себе, потому что это то, как мы растем. И если бы я не совершила эти ошибки, я бы сейчас тут не была. Я знаю, это очень так ванильно, базово. Но я бы допустила все те же ошибки. Которые замечаю, это в основном анатомия, что и у меня до сих пор проблемы. Я учу ее как as I go. Да. Анатомии надо использовать очень много референсов. Это то, что я всем советую. И не AI референсов. Не AI. I'm regretting now I went for WX 7100 card. What is this thing? 7100. I'm surprised how resource-friendly ZBrush seems on the surface. When I boot up 3D Code, my laptop sounds like a 747 Jetline turbine. I haven't loaded up 3D Code in a very long time. Is it very tolling on your system? It's a bit odd. I do get a bit on the edge when I enable sculptures. Crash risk elevated. Oh yes, I am one of those artists that never really got used to sculptures, and I use it in very few scenarios when I really need it. But I try to avoid it most of the time. I love my Dynamesh too much. Cheat on it with sculptures. Well, Russian girls are beautiful. I have a friend in Ukraine, she used to. Thank you? I don't know. Maybe it's just the way people perceive us. I wouldn't say we're all beautiful. I don't know. I consider myself pretty average. But thank you. Hi Layla, good to see you again. How's the stream going? New character? Yes, the stream going great. I mean, the chat is now somewhat alive. It's really nice to chat with you guys. Yeah, new character. We chose the concept last stream, well, prior to the stream. I did a poll on Instagram and Telegram. People chose, and I listened. So we're making this Rose character. Oh yeah. I only use sculptures at the early stages of infancy of a sculpt. I pull out large primary shapes but seldom details. I like the clay feel, and it gives by layer clay on clay to get more clay to clay with. Clayception. Yeah, it can get addicting, I guess. but I'm too used to just like dragging and doing Dynamesh on the fly. And I do like seeing like a evenly distributed Dynamesh wireframe as opposed to having like very dense area on the mesh. I don't know, maybe it's just me and my OCD. Still can't believe the delete mesh button can't be undone. Yeah. Oh, I had to learn it the hard way. Oh, there were tears. Well, it should be undone, right? It should have an option to be undone. Do you watch this channel when you are not streaming? Yeah. Yeah, I watch other artists. I watch Ian. I watch Shane. Who else do I watch? A new streamer, Anissa. She's from Ukraine. Give her some love. Just streamed yesterday, I believe. Who else? Yeah. Sometimes I watch Anna Carolina. She's really good as well. We have lots of talented artists. Actually, too, very talented artist. Yeah, sure. Sorry, there's just so many. Yeah, true. Sorry, yeah. Completely forgot. Sorry, we have so many females now. That's great. Also, Chloe recently started. She'd been doing some fan art stuff too. Really fun. And just go on a YouTube channel or Twitch channel, wherever you are, and watch those streams. You won't regret it. And I love how everyone's got their own personality. And yeah, I see that a lot of people chat differently with the chat. When I started out, people were saying that I'm way too polite because I read every single message at the cost of not getting as much stuff done. But I love it. I love chatting with you guys. So I don't mind being less productive. Oh yes, the tentacle lady. She did a cool sculpt of Tofu, I believe. I really liked it. Her demo for ZBrush and Unreal 5 were nicely done too. As a Anna Carolina? I think so. I think she did the demo for Unreal 5. I'll watch that. A lot of great stuff out there. Yeah. Are you using dynamic subdivisions for the rows? I am. For now. But as I'm gonna render this out in a different software, I will eventually convert it to proper thickness. Okay. Let's add one last petal in here just to close it off. And I'll quickly read the chat. Good afternoon, sorry for bothering you. I would like to know if everything I do in ZBrush I could do in Blender because I don't have the money to buy ZBrush. Yeah, most of the sculpting of itself is just sculpting. You can do it with clay, you can do it in Blender. There is some functionality that I show off, like zero mesher. I do it quite a bit. Maybe there is an analog function in Blender, I'm not sure. Maybe some Blender enthusiasts in the chat can help you out, because that's a big one. And then dynamic subdivision is just like a fake thickness preview, fake smoothing preview that I'm sure exists in Blender, or something similar to that. So yeah, I don't see why I couldn't apply the same techniques of sculpting in Blender. Yes, Anna, her, good artist. Yeah, she is really good. Hi Layla, do you have an online course that you teach? Not at the moment. I will consider it in the future, but currently I have a full-time job plus streaming, plus I have personal projects that I want to do. And then on top of that, I have life, you know, responsibilities of being an adult. Which can sound like excuses, but it is quite a lot at the moment, so I don't have it. But a lot of people have been asking me about like mentorships and online courses. So I can see that there is interest there, apparently, which I'm really flattered. Thank you guys. So it will be made at some point. But for now, you can just suggest on which topic I should make it, like just creating a character from scratch. Because if that's what it is, then you can just watch a bunch of my streams and get the same knowledge for free. I do it the same way every time, starting from a sphere. But yeah, if you have any topics that you'd like to suggest, I'll take note of that. Your measure. Seems like Blender has a good general sculpting option. UBT. Not sure which. Oh, maybe it's but. In terms of high poly-organic modeling, ZBrush seems like the best in the market overall with sculpting. You pick and choose. I choose ZBrush because I'm most familiar with it and I can afford it. And I can't say that the majority of studios in the industry use ZBrush, because of how optimized it is for the production of creating like all the maps that you need, like UVs. Like you can do great texturing here as well. Not to say that you can't do it in Blender, but just saying it is still considered an industry standard. Whereas Blender is also accepted, but it's more of a up-and-coming software that in the recent, like maybe past 3 to 4 years, has improved its sculpting skills quite a lot. So people have started using it. Okay. Well, ZBrush is only for sculpting, so it's no way the sculpting's Blender is near as good as in ZBrush, but yeah, if you want, you can make crazy stuff there, starting from modeling, ending with animation. Yeah, I mean, these are two different software made for doing different things. That's okay. Why not use both? You know? Like people sometimes combine 3D code and Substance, or Substance and Mari. All of it is great. Whatever works for you. But I do teach about ZBrush here, so I try to, just because I do feel passionate about this software and what the developers are doing with it, and where they're taking it, and they're taking it places. Becoming more and more user-friendly, in my opinion. And for people who just want to focus on sculpting characters or weapons or creatures, I don't know, props, trees, whatever, and they just start out in 3D, in my opinion, it's a bit easier to focus on the software that is really good at that one thing, whereas Blender's got so many things you can do with it. As you said from the beginning, from the sculpt to topology to UVs to texturing to animation to rigging to rendering to lighting. It can be a lot, and there are so many tabs to learn as well. I'm somewhat happy with how this is looking. Lower it a bit. Oh, so I blocked out her rows, sort of. Obviously we'll need a lot of refinement. But hey, the base is there. For me to work on. What would we do in the next 15 minutes that I have left? Let's sculpt her ear a little bit. Complete character modeling for studio process. Okay, yeah, cool. I'll consider it. That's for the course, right? Hi, guys. I saw a video the other day talking about upcoming features in Unreal Engine 5, like modeling and UV tools. That'll be interesting to see. Yeah, so it seems that a lot of software have been adding like core features of the 3D pipeline. which is cool. Why not? I'm sure the Unreal 5 enthusiasts will jump straight onto all of those new features and try them out. Can't say so for myself. I don't have Unreal Engine downloaded, but I've heard great things about it, so at some point I'll need to learn how to use it. Mm-hmm. I've been trying out the character creator post tools plugin for ZBrush. I'm not a rigger. It's really cool to send your ZBrush model into character creator 4, auto rig, and apply animations to capture poses, then send back to ZBrush for polish. So, kind of a spoiler, but I'm planning on doing the same with my Siri character once the textures are done. Potentially even streaming the process here, showing off the tools of character creator rig tools. Yeah, character creator rigging department. From what I've seen, it's very powerful, and I'm not a rigger myself, so I'm really excited to try it out. Just like you say, it's a very cool, non-destructive workflow between ZBrush and character creator. Split the ears for now. I'll subdivide it a couple of times. Awesome, yay! I know, I've been really impressed by what character creator is capable of in terms of like rigging. I haven't seen much about the character creation itself. Plus I do enjoy sculpting everything from scratch, so that aspect might not be for me. However, the rigging tools, it's something that I would really be keen to try out. Sorry guys, just looking for a good reference of the ear. I'm deciding on what level of stylization I'm gonna give it. Классно получается. Спасибо. And at this point, I do like to dynamesh the ear. Yeah, that looks about right. Although there was some intersection here, which I'm gonna get rid of. Cool. Maybe some clay polish. Oof, it's gonna be a time-consuming one. Oh well. I knew what I was signing up for. Kind of. Your neck is way too long. О, неожиданно. Я же сказала, что могу по-русски. I have like a right screen with like all the references in terms of style and some anatomical reference as well. So, you know, female parts. And because of how my brain works, I remember that I'm showing this screen on stream, but because like I jump between references there and then like all of a sudden I'd see like boobs and stuff, and I'll be like, oh no, I shouldn't be showing it on stream. The stream is gonna get banned. And then my brain cells remember that like, oh Layla, chill out. It's the Ava screen. Да, я недавно только зашел, вы на графическом планшете рисуете, да. На Fusion Canvas. Fusion, короче. Хороший планшет. Он экранник с экраном, то есть я на него смотрю и на нем же рисую. Скульпчу. Alright. I have 5 minutes left, so I don't think I'll be able to do much more. Perhaps a very quick polypaint. So why I'm doing it is because it can be very beneficial to add polypaint early on. As you can see, like none of it will be used later down the line. I'm just adding the main colors from the concept just to see how well I captured the proportions. Obviously, she's still in a bit of an alien phase. And it'll be a few more streams before she starts looking good. So I'm trying not to be too judgy of my own work. But yeah. There we have it. I can imagine how you feel in that short moment when you think you're sharing your other screen with the reference. Yeah. Yeah, not my proudest moment, but thank you for relating to me. А мышкой вообще сложно? Я понимаю, что на планшете удобнее, но для начинающих насколько можно будет без планшета? Можно, но руку начнет сводить после там 3-4 часов. Может быть больно. Но я знаю, что люди, да, скульптят мышкой. Но, если честно, планшеты без экрана стоят копейки, особенно бэушные. Но у Wacom есть маленькие такие планшеты. Bamboo или какой-нибудь Wacom Intuos. Они стоят очень-очень мало, если хочешь попробовать. So you're polypainting right now, but when you're texturing a substance, do you do this thing all over again? Well, I spent exactly 4 minutes polypainting, or maybe like 5 minutes. So yeah, I think I can do it all over again. But jokes aside, I usually like to paint the skin of the character in ZBrush. I really like the feel of painting in ZBrush. It's just amazing. I don't feel the same way in Substance. It's a bit clunkier, so I like to transfer the polypaint to Substance and kind of like build upon that with layers. I got it, so you already answered that. Cool. Sweet. On this note, guys, I'm gonna head off to work because it's Monday here. Here is my sculpt. I promise we will get better. I mostly promise to myself rather than to you guys. But yeah. Anyway. If you want to follow me and see my artworks, you can follow me on Instagram, ArtStation, Telegram. I post stuff there as well. All of it under the same name, Layla Viscu. Oh yeah. Have a good day. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you next Monday. Same character, same place, same time. Thanks for the stream, Layla. The Blockout is looking nice so far. Looking forward to seeing it develop further. Have fun at work. I sure will. Thank you so much. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye.